Okay, here we go. Hi, this is painting technique, watercolor painting technique, part 2. So I'm gonna flip you over and let you know what we're using today. Okay, so today we're gonna be doing rubber cement, a straw effect. I've got the paper towel for paper towel clouds. I've got a paper clip for Sgraffito, and I have some brushes. So a couple of things you need, of course, your paints. And if you remember from techniques number 1, this is where I'm blending. You can wash that out. I have the opportunity to let that dry. Okay, 2 things of water. In case you weren't here for number 1, we use 2 things of water. Why? One is to rinse your brush and wash it out, and the other is to be able to have some clean water to mix our paints. Okay, so I'm going to set all these things aside, and I've got my watercolor paper rough side up, and I've taped it so I have like 4 sections. I don't care how you tape it up. You can tape them up any way that you would like. Just section up your space. And if you don't have tape, awesome. Just you could even do like a light pencil grid and just not go to the edges. Okay, so your each technique that you're doing has its own space. Now, I try to do these quick so that you don't have to sit and just listen to me the entire time. So techniques are not about making art right now. I'm not trying to make a fabulous masterpiece. What I'm doing is showing you some techniques so then later on you can combine them any way that you like and you can make your own art and add some effects. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do rubber cement, and so rubber cement has to dry before I can paint over it. So it's one of the first things I'm going to do. So hopefully it'll be all dry by the end of this video. So rubber cement's gooey, it stinks. I'm going to do it in this little space right here. And what I'm doing is just making a little design with the glue. Now you could probably use Elmer's glue and let it dry for this. You could probably use decoupage if you have it. You might even, I don't know, maybe have done the project last week with making that plastic stuff, and if it got gooey, I bet you could use that. Anything that will dry and you can peel off after you're done painting. So I'm just going to leave it like that, making a little design, and I'm going to let it dry. Okay, I'm not going to touch that now. The next thing I want to do is some paper towel clouds, and then hopefully that will be dry so then I can show you the straw effect. So I'm going to use this big space right here, I think, for my paper towel clouds, or maybe because this might be the sky, let's do it up here. I'm going to use blue. Now, you could totally use any color you want. You could make pink clouds, you could make purple clouds, whatever. You could do the cloud effect with black. That might be super cool. But I'm going to use blue. So I'm getting some water. I'm going to dip it into my blue, dip it into here. Actually, I should have, I'm going to clean out this brush. I'm going to do some drops of water in my little mixing area. And if you didn't tune in to technique painting number 1, this will all get blended in as soon as it gets wet. So the trick is not to let water sit in your little paint, these little paint buckets. I don't know what you call them. Paint something. These little places where your paint is. I don't like my paint to sit there because I don't want it to get gooey and gross. So always give your paints opportunity to dry and try not to let standing water sit in there. Okay. So I think that this will be okay to put on here. Now, last week we talked about wet on wet, where you made the paper wet first, and then you spread out your color. I'm just going to do wet on dry for this, and hope that I have enough water in my paint here to cover this area. There's no reason that you can't do wet on wet if that's what you like and you were watching last week. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I want to show you paper towel clouds. Okay, so my paint's pretty good and wet. And Then I take paper towel. So you'll notice that one side's very embossed and the other is a little smoother. Okay, so I'm gonna do the smooth side. Now, you're just gonna have to play with this. So I kind of give myself a little opening here, it's not too squared, but I always think of clouds as a little straighter on the bottom and fluffier towards the top. And everybody's clouds are gonna be different. That's the cool part here. And what's really cool is after they dry, they look pretty cool. I don't know, I'm loving the paper towel cloud effect. So you are going to just have to play with it. There is no right or wrong. Okay, and you can also lift paint this way. If you get something that's too dark, you want to lift the paint. Awesome, grab paper towel, soak up that paint. Go ahead and just go on this edge. If I got too much paint on my edge, I could, paper towels are awesome to suck stuff up. Suck the paint up. Okay, and I'm gonna let those dry because I think they look pretty cool right now. I don't know, maybe I want some little cloud effect here. Ooh, you can give it different kinds of things. You could like just give it some wispies, some wispy clouds. So try different things. I'm kind of loving that. Okay, now I'm gonna let this dry and I will come back and do straw effect there. Let's see, what else is on the list? Sgraffito. Sgraffito's cool because wherever you scratch a design, the paint adheres. It really goes into the edge that you've done. So I'm kind of partial to doing my little flowers. You do not need to be an expert. You could totally just do a wavy design. These are not perfect. I'm doing it quickly. But the idea is to scratch the paper. It's called Sgraffito, and that's not with a C. It's actually with an SG. And I'm not sure I'm liking this, and I don't really care because guess what? This is a demo video. And right now, it's just for the demo. And then I want just to show you about just doing design work. You can just do like, I'm just going to do some waves here. Again, this does not have to be a picture. Okay, and I've already got blue going here, but maybe I want to make a pinkish color. So I'm going to clean out my brush. Remember, 2 containers of water, and then get some fresh. And I'm going to go ahead and put some water in here, and I'm going to get some red. Ooh, it had a little bit of purple in it. Yeah, try not to mix your paints. And we got sound effects. I'm not sure I like this brush. Remember, if something's not working and you don't like your brush, if you only have one brush, you're kind of stuck with it. But if it's not working or you don't like it, get a new brush. Okay, so, and I might use multiple colors on this, but I really want you to just see how, and again, this is wet on dry because the paper was dry. Notice how the paint really just sinks into the lines. I'm gonna clean that brush, and I'm gonna add some yellow. Get some fresh water in here. I'm gonna add some yellow into that red. Ew, yep, I am mixing that color, you're right. Ew, and I really don't like this color. Maybe I do. Maybe it'll be a little more sherbety. Ew, wash out my brush. Not sure I like that, but for demonstration purposes, ooh, look, that's how you get a lovely brown or a color maybe you can use in a sunset. But really, why are we here? What am I doing? To show you that that the paint loves wherever you've scratched the paper. So if you want to make some cool effect and you want to really highlight maybe some edges around something you're doing, if you take a paper clip or something that you can do a scratch, the colors will suck into those scratch marks and really make it bright and vivid for you. I'm going to go over the top of this with this again. I don't know, now I'm playing. I love the mixture of the red and the orange. It's making me happy. Ha ha ha! It was making me happy, you guys. I couldn't help myself. Okay, clean that brush off. So next we've got, I did this Sgraffito. Oh, straw effect. Is this dry yet? Ooh, almost. It's almost dry. I could always do straw effect right here in this space, and I'll do that, and I'll show you that you can use any color you want. So let's go for some, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm really partial to the blues and purples, but I'll try some green. I'm gonna make some green here, put the water in here first. Some clean water. Green. I'm gonna get this brush really saturated with some color, soften up that dry paint. Okay, and then add it to this. Need a little bit more. I may add some blue to this green. Okay, I'm gonna try and get all of this water out of that green. I'm gonna clean my brush. I'm gonna get it into the clean water. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab some of this blue. Mix that in there. So kind of a tealy color. Play with mixing your paints, you guys. It is okay to mix your paints. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to use the straw effect with this. Now, the straw effect, you need to be on a dry surface. So whether your paint has dried, which this seems pretty dry. Oh, I got some wet stuff up here. And I splattered something. Okay, so it needs to be on dry surface or this is dry. So the trick is to have a nice wet juicy drop somewhere, and then you're going to blow. So I'm going to give, and oh, and if you sit down it helps, because I got to tell you, in class we found out that you get very lightheaded. Okay, and I'm gonna come over here and make another juicy drop. Okay, and I don't know if you can tell, but those are actually, hopefully I'm not in the way of you being able to see. And then I've got a straw, but I'm going to show you how you can do this with just blowing without a straw. But with a straw, do it in short bursts. So here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to not use a straw. So hopefully you can see that I'm not using a straw. I'm just my mouth. So it works either way, a little less control, but hey, you kind of get the same exact effect, okay? So there's no reason that you cannot do this if you don't have a straw. And then I'm going to add another drop here. I really like that turquoisey color. Okay, we're going to leave that like that. And then I'm going to make a brownish color to show, make it look like tree branches, because I think this is plenty dry now. Okay, let's make a brown color. I'm going to wash out that brush, get me some clean water, and I've already had a black in here, so that's okay. So I like to mix a little bit of brown with a little bit of purple to get a dark brown color. I hardly ever use black. Now this has some black dried in there, so it's going to be very dark. Notice it's going very dark. I'm gonna clean out that brush again, get some clean water, grab me some purple, and mix it in with my brown. Okay. And that's kind of like what I like to do for branch color. I like a purple and brown mix. Okay, I'm gonna get this nice juicy drop. I'm gonna put it right here and make it like it's tree branches in the sky. Okay, set this down. I'm gonna use my straw again. There we go. Uh-oh, I think I'm slobbering on there too. Okay, let's add a little bit more because I want it to. And notice how it'll just blend right into it. Okay, go. And practice with the short burst or a long burst, what it does. Ooh. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna leave that. Pretend it's the tree branch coming up in there. Okay, so our rubber cement, is totally not dry yet. Where it had the big glob, but right here it is. And I'm just gonna show you. Oh, and I forgot we were gonna do one more thing. So this was done, and I did a wash in each of the little sections of color, and then I did a purple over the whole thing. Now it looked really cool in just the sections, and then once it's totally dry, then you just peel this up, and it's actually white underneath, but then I did the purple over the top. Now this right here is called stamping, and it's just like we did with the alcohol with the lid, but I did paint on the edges. So I didn't grab something ahead of time. Let me see. I'll just grab a lid. But you may have little cookie cutters or something with an edge that you want to paint on. And I had some of this, well, let's just use the purple paint. And I'm just grabbing a couple lids and I'm just gonna paint around the edge. I could see that it doesn't really like the edge, so it's not gonna give me a really clear stamp. Nope. Let's see if this one works better. Nope, it's not wanting to stick to it. I have little metal stamps. You may have rubber stamps. You know what else works really well is our leaves. I'm gonna do this one, and it's not giving me what I want. Let's see. I have a couple dry leaves on my plants. I hate to pull off a green leaf on one of these plants, but I could do it on this. I will pull this out. Okay, I have this awesome little flower here. I'm going to, let's see if we can paint it. It doesn't seem like the paint wants to stick to this either. And I'm making a splattery mess all over everything. But I know leaves from outside work really well. Yeah, look at whatever kind of a texture this plant has, it does not want to stick. The paint doesn't want to stick. Maybe it would do better on the back side. Nope, it just made an ugly mess. Okay, I'm gonna clean this brush off. Give me some clean water. And I'm gonna try painting on the back side of this leaf. Nope, look at that. The water does not, whatever this leaf has on it, it does not, it is resisting the paint. Well, so be it for my awesome demonstration. Okay, you guys, I don't want to take up any more of your time. See what you can find to stamp with. You can see from this one that I use little hearts. On this example, I used a couple different things, a star and then a little thing, I don't remember what it was, something in my little cookie stamps. Here is a straw technique into the blue sky. Here's some Sgraffito. Here's rubber cement. And since this rubber cement in here, it isn't totally dry, but we can wash over it, and then when it does dry, we can peel that rubber up and it will be super cool. And feel free to use different colors. Feel free to mix. I'm just using what I've got already here because I don't want this video to be super long. Okay. And then once that's all dry, I can just roll that rubber cement off. And before I let you go, I want to talk about taking your tape off your paper. Taking tape off of your paper. Okay. Well, I apologize, folks. I don't know. I thought I had an extra painting right here. When you take your masking tape off, don't rip it off like a bandage and wait until your paint is dry to take it off. If you just rip it off like a bandage, a lot of times it will grab and it will rip up your artwork. So what you need to do, and this is really wet, so I don't want to take it off here, but you want to pull up from the side. This side is dry, so let's just try it. And you want to go sideways and you want to go slow. Notice it's just lifting up very easily, okay? This is wet, so it might just pull it up, but I'm going to still go from the side and see. Oh, good, look. It's not causing me any issues right now. Okay, so take your time with taking off the masking tape. Again, do not rip it like a bandage. Do not rip it like a bandage. Let's see, am I going to be able to take this one? And normally you would wait until it's totally dry before you go taking it off, but I did want to show you about how to do it if you are using masking tape. Pull to the side, and if it starts to rip up, go ahead and start from the other end. And if it starts to rip up, you'll know what that means because it definitely will just take your artwork with it. Okay, I'm gonna pull to the side and pull slowly. Be patient with your lovely artwork. Ooh, that's coming off pretty good. Okay, let's pull this one off. I should be waiting until it's totally dry, but it's rather satisfying. Oops, see, it's starting to grab this paper right here. Pull to the side. Oops, see, it's grabbing paper. Pull to the side, pull gently. Oh, uh-oh, I just made a huge mess with my paint. Good thing it's watercolors. Uh-oh, they're mowing the lawn out there. Okay, I'm gonna let you go, guys. That's all I wanted to say for today. Love you, have fun.